Hello, everyone, and welcome to Service Finding Developer Weekly Call. Today is 25th August 2022, and I think we do have one topic from Baiju for a discussion on to provision service in the ACK RDS controller, and
Yep.
we can take issue triaging after that. I think if
Yep.
everyone
Yep.
agrees.
Please, that should always be last.
Yeah,
All right,
Yes.
and if anybody else want to add any topic, please.
all right.
Let me share my screen then.
Yes, please.
You are still okay. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
So, if it's visible, I'm trying to share. So, okay, my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we started exploring this some days back. This issue that is created by our intern David Robinson is to get support from the ACK community to add support for service binding operator. But actually, the idea was to get it through the standard way, that is through the spec. It was mentioned in the issues, and there was little confusion about that. But I could see later Andy and I also tried to explain this thing. So as part of this, the next step we decided was to create a POC, proof of concept, showcase how this integration is going to look like. So I have a video. It's like something like 7 minutes. So I'll play that, and you can see how that integration looks like, and then I can come back to further discussion. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me know if the audio is visible. Okay. Can you hear the audio? When I was playing, is that
No.
no, right?
No.
Okay, I think I should share only that window in YouTube or
Yes.
something,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let me do that. Let me stop sharing. I have uploaded the same video to YouTube. So let me open that in a tab and then share that particular a tab. Yes, yes. Yeah. Now, let me know if it's visible. Can you see the? Hi, my name is Baiju. Can you hear the audio?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. You will
Yes.
have to mute yourself and, I mean, not you.
Oh, yeah.
Others will have to mute it, I think.
Let me know. Okay. You mean in this
You are
provision
mute,
service
Baiju.
support for the ACK RDS control. So when I muted this, the audio was visible. You could
Yes,
hear, or
yes.
Yeah, there's an
Yes.
echo. So I can mute you, right? So you
yeah,
can go
please
ahead
go.
and play, and then I'll mute you. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's better. Hi, my name is Baiju. Provision service support for the ACK RDS control. This is a proof of concept that I'm working on. The provision service idea is part of service binding specification for Kubernetes. You can read more about this specification in the servicebinding.io website. This specification standardizes exposing backing service secrets to Kubernetes workloads. Typically, Kubernetes workloads contains applications which can use the secret data to establish connection to the backing service. Secret resource will be collected and exposed to workloads consistently and predictably. That's the promise of this spec. Now, what is provision service? Provision service is a key abstraction used in the spec to define a backing service. A provision service resource must have a .status.binding.name attribute pointing to a secret resource. I have a cluster with a service binding operator and RTs controller installed. Let's see the CRDs so that way we can confirm these operators are there. Yeah, the DB instance resource is coming from the RTs controller and the service binding is coming from the service binding operator. One of the thing about this DB instance is that this is the modified resource. I made this resource compatible with the service binding specification, that is the provision service API. So as you can see here, under the status, there is a binding section, binding attribute with the binding attribute. There is a name, and the name must be pointing to a secret resource. So that means this is a provision service now. Okay, so to give a demo about this, I have created a RDS instance through a Helm chart. We'll see that in a moment. So this Helm chart RDS Postgres chart has some template with the DB instance resource. You can see here this is mostly templatized, but values are coming from this values.yaml file. Also, there is a role, and that role is to read this DB instance by the service binding operator through an aggregated cluster role, and to enable that, there is a label here. Okay, so now there is a service binding resource, and this specialty about the service binding resource is that it points to the DB instance, and then the workload is selected using a label selector, matching label selector. So any deployment that matches this label is going to get the bindings projected into it. So to install the application, I have a application also here. So before getting to that, let's see if this DB instance is ready, usable. Yeah, so this is available right now. So this DB instance is available. Let's check the binding name, that is the secret. Yeah, it points to RDS test demo. And let's see these values. It's base64 encoded, so I'm using JQ to extract this, decode this base64 encoded strings, and you can see this is the host that is dynamically constructed, and then secret, password, etc. Okay, so now let's install the application Helm chart. I'll show you this application in a moment. So the source code is here. So it's a Go based REST API application, and there are a couple of APIs that I'm going to show you in a moment how to use it. But the key point here is that how this database connectivity is getting established. So there's a function here, get PSQL parameters with a slash binding. That's a directory from where we are going to read these bindings from the file system, and within that directory it looks for directories and files within that, and checking for any file that has a name type and another file with provider. And if the values of those files are matching Postgres and AWS respectively, that means that correct binding has been found. So, and then these many files from that projected files are read, like host, username, password, database, etc. And that's how this application is getting the connection details about the RDS instance. Okay, now let's see if this deployment completed. It's going to take some time. So yeah, so the volume projection is here. In the secret name is nothing but the same secret, and it is mounted into this directory. So we can check that inside the pod. So the pod is running here. So we can exec into this pod. Let's see SSME, and if I go to this bindings directory, I can see that directory is there. And let's check the host name, for example. Yeah, you can see the value is projected into this file, right? So that's how the application must be running with that information. And we can forward this service. There is a service also part of that application. Now let me open another window and see if we can access the API. So there are a couple of APIs like I mentioned before. The wrap API is the one that is going to accept a key, which is a base64 encoded string, and then we are going to get a cipher, and then we can call this unwrap API to with this cipher, and we are going to get the original key returned. Yeah, like that. So that means the application is working with the bindings projected through the service binding operator, which was retrieved from this backing service, that is the RDS instance, which is pointing to a real RDS PostgreSQL database. Thanks for watching. Mute. So that's a proof of concept that I created with the demo video. Any quick thoughts or something? How that the user experience is going to be?
I think it's good about you. Like I mentioned before, it shows the technology. Maybe a little bit from a flow point of view. If someone is watching the video and then jumping from window to window, because you were going back to the notes, going back to the screen to type the commands, that could be a little bit distracting. The same. I also noticed that the transition from the introduction to the actual demo was too abrupt. Like it wasn't smooth. Like it doesn't flow as a single demo. So, but in terms of the content, I think you're good. That's exactly what we need to show. Maybe you went into the application and explained the connectivity, but at the very end, if I don't know what that application does, I don't understand how you tested it. So it'd be nice to upfront come up with a quick diagram saying this is how this application works and what it does. It just does encryption and decryption of data, and it needs a key to be stored in a database, right? And then you can show that at the very beginning, very simple, right? And then that already puts the audience in context of what is he going to be testing at the end, right? To make sure this thing works. But I like that you went into the code and show this is expecting a certain type and provider. I like that. So it shows that what needs to happen on the application side of things, right? So for a developer, that would be interesting.
Okay. So regarding the two videos, actually those are separate videos I joined together.
Right, that's
because
probably
I
why.
couldn't, I couldn't record it at once.
Yeah.
Let's see.
If you record, I think that you got the script. It's just
Yeah.
if you record it again and then make it a one video and make it smooth, right? Pause in the right places to save time. Even if you take a little longer, at least it shows it's a continuous single video. I think that will make it a lot. I don't know. This is pretty fine the thing, right? So in terms of the content, the very technical guys don't care too much about that. But maybe if you want to catch the attention of higher level manager or something like that, like a PM, you want to make it a little bit more understandable, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I'll make one more attempt to make one more attempt. Maybe now it's 7 minutes. Maybe it may go up to 10 minutes or something. Let's see.
Maybe like 10 minutes. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think you got the script. It's just a matter of do it again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. Thanks. Any other thoughts about this? Anybody else want to share? So I hope everyone is clear that what we are trying to achieve, right? We want to convince the ACK team that going for a provision service support in their all the controllers. Right now we are only focusing on RDS, but in future S3 and every other controller that can be used from an application could become a provision service. That's a proposal that we're trying to push forward.
Mhm.
So this is just a like beginning. So maybe if this is good enough for I'm thinking about create more like a formal proposal. So they also, I could see in their community, they have this kind of proposals written here. I've seen, okay,
Design.
I don't remember. Yeah, design. Somewhere I've seen this. They have a design proposal. Yeah, you see here, you can see a lot of already submitted few proposals. So we could make something like this. So reference, let me see something. There was something about controller. Okay, and yeah, just a markdown file with solution requirement, proposed solution changes. I could see there is no rigid structure, but I've seen some similar pattern they're following in multiple documents. So we could create something like that, and that could be a next step. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And then you pointed to the issue, you pointed to the video, you maybe pointed to, what would be nice also? Some, like the same thing you gave us in Cabal. I think showing them, the changes that you made.
Oh,
Just,
okay,
just,
okay.
just, so maybe
That-
like snippets of code, right? So not
Yeah,
in the proposal, you know what I mean?
that's pure hack actually. So
No,
I
but
don't know whether that's
your function to create a secret is not a hack. That's a function to create a secret. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, that's yeah.
No,
Those things.
so maybe you can put those snippets. It's like, oh, this is the type of code you need to create the secret. This is the type of code you need to change the CRD. This is a structure change to the Go struct, right?
Yeah, those
Or
things can go into the proposals,
the
but not
proposal.
in the
Yeah.
how it could
Okay.
yeah, not in the video. Okay, then so that's about I don't have anything else.
Okay. We can check the issue triaging now, I think.
Okay, stop sharing. Should we? Okay, I can.
Okay.
There is no recent issues by the way, okay, in these.
Yeah,
Nothing is.
new.
Yeah.
I mean, do we think like we can discuss the older ones or any action items on the older ones? We would like to discuss anything from the previous ones, or we can ask them if this can be closed if they've already like this.
Some of them are we don't have any control, so we are just keeping it like it for tracking. For example, this issue itself, right? Support StreamC. We don't have much control over, but I could see that Catherine, right? Kate, she's
Kate.
working on Kate. Yeah, she's working on that, and so yeah, I don't mind keeping it open like this, but I don't have any action items to do.
Okay. So is it like for everywhere? I mean, it is something.
No, not everywhere. Some of them.
I think we have already provided somewhere. We have provided this, like maybe the information or anything we have asked, but
So when was this? This was a long time ago.
2021 it was.
It was about a year ago.
Yeah, this was
A little under a year ago.
Yeah, a little back. Kamesh was what they call evangelist, right? I mean, technology evangelist or something like that. Yeah. So he works with the various technology, and I think when during interaction he noticed that this kind of he was trying to showcase the SPO, and he got some feedback from some of the one of the presenters. That's why he created this issue.
Right.
But I think
This is done. I mean, we're already doing this, right? We're just not picking crossplane. We're picking ACK, and not specifically Rosa, right?
Yeah.
So, but any Kubernetes that wants to talk to Amazon, right?
Yeah. So I don't know about that, but what is that EKS Pod Identity Webhook?
where is
No, in the description he's
Yes.
talking about some tool when working with managed OpenShift.
I mean, we wish to like go ahead with this for now. This is one, but if you want, we can take one by one in every call and maybe
Yeah. Some
put
of
down
the-
comments or something.
Yeah, my thought is like some of the things we can, we need more investigation. For example, this, even though it is just a few lines of summary, but to understand clearly that need a lot of investigation. But for example, if it's a cross plane, see it's a beast by itself, right? I mean, what I
Yeah,
mean
but
is
it'll be
large
similar.
concept.
I've been looking
Yeah,
at crossplane, and it'll be very similar to what you're doing. It's just a matter of the
yeah,
speed up a secret already. It's just a matter of pointing the name in the right status. So maybe reformatting the secret a little bit to have a type and provider. Other than that, they already speed out a secret. So this is, to me, the work that we're doing with SCK is going to be very similar to the work we do with Azure, with the work we do with Crossplane,
yeah,
and any other provider, right? So
yeah, right. Yeah. So I think from an integration perspective, I guess we could just start, like we started with ACK, let's continue doing
we
that.
started the work, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and maybe next we can prioritize. Like next could be Crossplane or Azure. Yeah,
This issue is more of a, hey guys, are you gonna be? I think, right? So maybe we can ask him,
yeah,
right? What's the goal? Are we gonna close the issue when all the providers of the world are supported, or are we gonna close the issue when, hey, yeah, we acknowledge that this is a value and we started working on this, and that's it, right? We're done with the issue, I think.
yeah. Max has something to say.
Yeah, so Kames, he left Red Hat like a year ago, I think, or 6 months ago. He was a dev advocate on middleware. But I think this issue is just the general ask about it, having a way to easily add services from Amazon, Azure, etc. So if you haven't already, you should just add a link and say
Close it.
post.
I would say once you do a proposal by you can just put that link in there and say, hey, we started this work. We just started with ACK. We started with AWS. And then, yes, it's a valid issue. Thank you. That's it.
Okay.
Otherwise this issue is going to stay there forever, right? Because we're not going to be done with this.
Yeah. Fanny, can you go back? There is something about scroll down. See that Crossplane somewhere down. It's same, I guess, right? There was a mention about Crossplane. Yeah, last one. See, bind an application to Crossplane to IO operations.
Yeah.
Oh, is
That
it?
is Shavik boss. Yeah.
That's Shavik. It's the same idea. We could say, well, that one we can stop when we create a proposal for crossplay. You know what I mean? So that one we can leave it around, I would say, and say we can mention that we started with ACK, but that one we won't close because the other one was more generic. Hey, support cloud providers. This one is more specifically about support crossplane, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we can at least keep these issues just like that until you have better idea about those things or more better. Right?
This I don't remember. I mean,
this sounds to me like a performance thing.
I think that Power already did it, right?
No, we had discussion.
Actually, yeah, we mentioned it before. In the past, we were watching for everything. That was causing performance issues, so we decided to drop watching everything. And so that would be the other extreme. One extreme is watch everything. The other extreme would be watch nothing, basically. right? So
Yeah,
we
we
went
did
to the watch nothing approach, and this is sort of somewhere in between, and watch only for those changes on only for those resources for the particular service binding which are involved. It's sort of a smart watch, I would say.
Yeah.
That's the point, I guess, for this issue, or for this feature request. So we wouldn't be, because right now, we are missing, when we bind to a deployment and the deployment has changed, we would miss it, right? So basically what we do is we project and and then forget about it, basically.
Yeah, actually, this is something we need to consider. I don't know whether you remember when I was giving the demo that ASIC integration, I use the table selector, right? So, but it actually takes quite a lot of time to do the reconciliation. So it is not instantaneous,
Yeah.
Nothing is,
Yeah. So maybe watching will help us to make it a little faster. Than
Actually, I will focus on fixing that, because label selector to me is a more interesting feature.
Yeah.
Than
But
like a direct application.
But David, label selector is for the the destination part of the binding, right? For the workloads. This,
Right.
I think, is for the source of it.
Collecting the data. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is service.
Okay,
right?
that's different then. That's different then. Yes.
Okay.
I think
You're
I mean, we are almost about time, so I think we can take ahead in our next call for rest of them. But I think we can, I mean, at least sort out two things where we can provide some link and go ahead and close it, or maybe put down some comments for few of them, whichever we can. All right, I think. Thanks for joining, everyone.